Ever feel like you're running a marathon but barely making any progress? Like you're putting in tons of effort but not seeing the results you want?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think everyone feels that way sometimes.
Well, good news. Today we're diving into a concept that could change all that. The 80-20 rule, sometimes called the Pareto Principle, it's all about achieving more but working less.
Right, because the basic idea is that 80% of your results actually come from just 20% of your efforts. Sounds kind of crazy, right?
Right.
Like less actually leads to more, but when you start to look around, you see it everywhere.
Totally. Think about, I don't know, like a small group of your customers generating the majority of your sales.
Exactly. Or maybe a handful of key habits that really drive your fitness results. It's like one of the articles we looked at put it really simply, 80% of results, 20% effort. And that's powerful stuff.
Definitely powerful. So today, we want to help you really grasp this whole 80-20 thing. Not just understand it, but actually use it to change how you handle your time and energy. And most importantly, how to find that crucial 20% in your own life so you can achieve more without feeling totally swamped.
Sounds good to me.
So how do we even start finding that magic 20%?
Well, it really starts with being super honest with yourself about what's truly moving you towards your goals. One of the articles had these great questions like, what tasks actually move me closer to my goals? And what actions have the biggest impact? Those are the questions to keep asking yourself.
It's about being effective, not just busy, right? We've all been there, checking things off a list, but then realizing, wait a minute, were those even the right things to be doing? Did they really matter?
Totally. You got to look at the actual results, and your calendar can be a huge help. One of the articles mentioned that. Where are you spending most of your time? Which meetings or activities consistently lead to, actual progress?
And your to-do list, too. Go back and look. Which tasks led to the biggest wins, the most significant steps forward?
Oh, and another thing the articles talked about, their digital life.
Yeah.
Where's your screen time going? Which apps or websites are, sucking up your attention? Are they helping you reach your goals, or are they part of that less effective 80%? It's about seeing the big picture, where your time and energy are really going.
So it's kind of like becoming a detective for your own life. Tracking your time and energy, then analyzing the results, seeing where that 80-20 relationship is happening. You might be surprised what you find.
You really might.
Okay, so you've done the detective work. You've asked yourself the tough questions. You're starting to see that crucial 20%. Now what? Just knowing it isn't enough.
Yeah, knowing is just the first step. The real change happens when you start minimizing that other 80%, the less effective stuff. That's how you free up time and energy for what truly matters. The articles we read laid out 3 ways to do this. Eliminate, automate, and delegate.
Okay, let's break those down. Eliminate seems pretty clear, but what exactly are we talking about cutting out?
Well, think about the things that constantly drain you but don't really move you forward. Like meetings you don't really need to be in, administrative tasks that anyone could do, or just those little distractions that pull you away from more important work. Be honest with yourself, even a little ruthless about what you can just stop doing.
It can be tough to let go of things, even if they're not helping. But the point is, when you remove those low-value activities, you free up so much mental and physical energy for the things that really make a difference.
Exactly.
All right, how about automate? What does that look like with the 80-20 rule?
Automation is all about using tools and systems to handle the repetitive stuff that doesn't need your personal touch. Things like setting up email filters to prioritize important messages, using scheduling software, or creating templates for common tasks. Basically, offload those less critical things so you can focus on higher impact work.
Makes sense. Use your tools wisely so you can focus your energy on the strategic stuff. And finally, we have delegate. I know that can be tricky for some people because it involves trusting others with tasks.
For sure, delegation isn't always easy, but when it's possible, it's a great way to handle that less effective 80%. It's about giving tasks to others who can do them well, whether it's team members, assistants, or even outside help. The key is to realize that your time is best spent on your strengths and the high-impact activities. If someone else can handle a task effectively, delegating it can save you a ton of time and energy.
So eliminate the unnecessary, automate the routine, delegate where you can. Basically shrink that less effective 80% so you have more space to focus on your 20%.
That's the idea.
What happens when we actually create that space and focus?
That's when the real magic starts to happen. And this ties into what one of the articles called deep work. It was from a guy named Cal Newport. The idea is with all that freed up time and attention, you can really dive into those high impact tasks without distractions.
Right. Instead of constantly switching between things, you can block out time to truly focus. And as the article pointed out, even a short burst of deep, focused work on the right task can be way more productive than an entire day of juggling less important things and getting interrupted all the time.
Absolutely. It's like, think about studying. If you spend an hour totally focused on a complex topic, no emails, no social media, you're going to learn and remember way more than if you're trying to study for a few minutes here and there while doing other stuff.
Yeah.
That focused effort makes a huge difference.
Quality over quantity. Makes sense. And this brings us to that final big idea from our research. Adopt a less is more mindset. This isn't just about productivity hacks, it's a whole different way of looking at your goals and work.
Right. It's about letting go of the idea that being busy means being productive. The 80-20 rule flips that on its head. It says that by focusing on the vital few, that 20% of high-impact activities, you can actually achieve more, feel less stressed, and have more time and energy for other parts of your life.
And for our listeners who are all about learning efficiently, this less is more idea is huge. Find the core concepts, the 20% of information that will give you 80% of the understanding you need. Don't get bogged down in every little detail. Focus on the foundational stuff, the high-impact knowledge.
And this shift in mindset affects more than just work. By focusing on the essential and letting go of the non-essential, you create a more sustainable and enjoyable path to your goals. Less burnout, more time to appreciate your progress and the things that matter.
Okay, let's recap. The 80-20 rule, or Pareto Principle, basically says that a small part of what you do drives most of your results. The key is to find that high-impact 20% in your life and focus your energy there.
And just as important, use those strategies we talked about. Eliminate, automate, delegate to handle the remaining 80%. That frees up resources for your most impactful work.
Exactly. Then put that freed up time and energy into deep work on those crucial tasks. Even short, concentrated bursts of effort can lead to huge progress.
And remember, embracing a less is more mindset means focusing on the vital few to achieve more, reduce stress, and find a more fulfilling way to reach your goals.
All right, let's end with a challenge for you. This week, think about all the things you do regularly. Find one low-value activity, even something small, that you can cut out or reduce significantly.
And on the other side, find one high-value task, something that will really move you forward, and give it some extra focus this week.
These two small changes can really show you the power of the 80-20 rule in your own life. And as you try these changes, here's a final thought. What if you focused on finding your top 20% in just one area, like your career, your relationships, or how you learn new things? Could that focused effort in one area create positive changes in other unexpected parts of your life? Something to think about.
It really is. It's all about making the most of your time and energy.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
We'll see you next time.